team lead of Geth. Do I need to say anything else? Or? Okay.
Hello. Is my mic on?
No.
Hello. Is this mic on?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I'm Matt. I go by Light Client. I am a member of the Geth team for the past few years, and I think that's all I'll say.
I'm Guillaume, also a member of the guest team for the past few years.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Maybe. Who knows?
I'm Marius. I'm very surprising also a member of the guest team. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting up here. And I've been also with the team for I think 5 years now.
Hey, I'm Jared. I've been with the team since 2021.
Let's get some questions going.
Okay, so one of the questions that has been voted the most has been, if you couldn't work on Ethereum, what would you work on?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. we don't really know, honestly.
Is it possible to put the questions on the screen here?
Yeah, it would be good. But I mean, we also have to just answer the current question. We cannot. It doesn't help us to check the other questions because we have to answer.
Well, you can start.
No, but maybe inspiration.
I actually really like fuzzing and testing. So I always had this idea of doing like a company that does fuzzing for other projects. So that is something that I would probably work on.
I would be building blimps. Not even a joke.
I would probably work on Bitcoin.
Yeah, for myself, I don't really know. I think I would just have a job at a startup or something if it wasn't this.
Yeah, likewise, I don't really know, but I definitely want to stay in the space.
Yeah, I think all of us would probably stay.
We would
here.
prefer to.
We would prefer not to be.
Okay. Some of the next questions here in this list. What are your thoughts on Reth?
Oh, come on. We're here to answer your questions, so we should just like answer your questions.
No, it's okay. I mean, this is.
Yeah, but like.
I mean, that's.
This one's not the top voted one.
Oh.
So
wait,
okay,
it's his job
if you
to.
How do you like working with Tomáš?
Oh, that is a good one. Yeah. No, I mean, so seriously, it is. We are. I mean, we have. You know, we've been getting accustomed to the Tomáš experience for the last couple of weeks, and it's an interesting thing. Like, he is bringing a very new dynamic to the Ethereum Foundation, I have to say, and is good and bad. So I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't want to say it's bad. I mean, he's my boss. No, I mean, damn it, I'm too honest. So it's no, I mean, it is a big shift, I have to say. Like, he is bringing this energy where, like, you know, we are laser focused on, you know, like the immediate goals and also like the very big goals. And I think this focus was maybe not there before as much, you know. And so he's honestly bringing this. And at the same time, that is, I guess, the good part, and like also the bad part is maybe that, like, with all the recent reorganization, it's hard to say like how much of this is, like, can be attributed to him, but specifically, but it's like also just all of these changes. We are currently still kind of processing all of this, and it's very it's not all like good feelings.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just to add on, I think it's a little too early to know what really the outcome of this transition is going to be. Like, a lot of things have happened in the past few months, and I personally am excited about change. I think that, like, for a while for the past couple of years, it felt like we were sort of stuck maybe in some sort of rut, and now I appreciate that there is some vision and some ambition in what we're going to be doing with the Ethereum protocol. Like, vision and ambition that wasn't as, quite there, communicated as clearly, to the community. And I think like he is bringing a lot of that, and he's trying to like mechanize that across the Ethereum Foundation. Again, like this, he's been officially with the Ethereum Foundation for 2.5 months. It's very early in his tenure. We'll have to see what the next like 6 months hold, and the year after that, to really be able to answer how we like working for Tomasz.
I think we also like we worked with him before in a different context, right? Like he was a core dev, he was a client dev before. He like really built up Nethermind, and I actually really liked working with him back then. So I haven't had much contact with him since he joined the EF, but I really liked um, back in the day working with him on the engineering problems, and I hope that we will have a maybe more engineering focused organization going forward.
Yeah, he's questioning a lot of things, which is a good thing. It's also a fairly uncomfortable one, but yeah, we like others said, we are gonna have to wait a little bit to figure out if this is what we need, or if we, whatever happens, we'll see.
I guess not really a comment on Tomasz specifically, but I think I'm excited to see what this new laser-eyed focus on accelerating scaling brings, and I think that if we can push that along more quickly, then his entry into the EF will be a good thing.
Next question.
Okay, and remember when you use the mic, add it
Yes.
horizontally. Next most upvoted question as we're continuing this. Do you think there would be benefit to spinning out of the EF and become a grant-seeking organization, I guess?
So I can answer that one. We have discussed the spin-out question many times over the years, but we always end in the conclusion that specifically for Geth, it makes no sense. Geth itself will never be profitable in any way. Like it is not it is more like this type of project where we, in order to be fully committed to just the Ethereum protocol, we have to be supported by an organization. And at the same time, we are super deeply integrated into the Ethereum Foundation, its structures, and also the people there. So I would say a lot of the value of Geth within the EF is just this integration, us like knowing everyone, having all these ties, having all these projects within the EF with other teams and so on. And if we would leave the EF behind and we would just focus on Geth, it would be a big change. But I think it would also, a lot of the value that we actually bring to the world would be lost by this transition. So that's why we think this spin out makes no sense.
Yeah, as Felix said, we have debated this over and over the years. There might be some benefits. We might, I don't know, be more independent, but the drawbacks definitely outweigh the benefits that we would have from spinning out. So, and I think the other thing that is like we're not only maintaining Geth, right? We're also we feel very responsible for the protocol itself. We feel very responsible for like the testing, the standardization of processes, like the APIs, and all of these things would be things that would need to go if we were becoming a for-profit company, and I don't think that would be to the benefit of Ethereum. And our biggest goal is to work on Ethereum and to maintain cool software. And I think this structure that we have right now is the best way that we can achieve our goals. So I don't see a point in changing that.
Anyone else have more to add?
Yeah, we need to kind of go through the questions a bit quicker, I think.
Yep. I'll just switch the mics.
Okay.
So let's just go to the next.
Next question.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Reth they added, why do you prefer it to Geth? But it doesn't make sense. So just what are your thoughts on Reth?
I think it's a trick question.
Yeah,
That's why.
they're gonna get an
Guys, answer real
sorry,
question.
a honest answer.
Real question.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's a really nice heater for my like I run it on my NUC, and it really hits my office very nice. And also the fan spins really quick, so I really enjoy like the background music. And also it's a great test for my internet connection, because every time I compile it, it downloads the entire internet. And yeah, no,
Do you actually run Reth?
yeah.
So do I.
In my backup in my backup PC.
Oh, the backup.
Yeah.
I mean, Reth is definitely like a newcomer to the execution client space. And I mean, we always find it quite exciting to work with newer clients, because they do bring some new ideas. In the case of Reth, yeah, I mean, they have a very different focus. Again, it's a very performance-oriented focus, as we are used to from the Rust programmers. They love to optimize. And it's great. No, I mean, we very much enjoy talking to them. And yeah, we've been sharing knowledge, and there are no negative feelings towards towards Reth from the Geth side. I don't really know how they see us. I guess they would answer this
I
differently.
mean, I think now they see us a bit more with more animosity, I would say.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, after what I said,
Yeah.
but it's no, it's a very strong team for sure.
Yeah.
Anybody else add something? We're gonna go to the next question.
I think one aspect of Reth that's really neat is their close connection with Foundry and a lot of the dev tooling aspects. I think that's one thing that fundamentally a lot of the client teams have always been kind of separate from, and the separation just grows with time. Like at one point, go-ethereum was much closer to what was happening with developer tooling, and now there's just so much going on with their protocol. There's only so many hours in the day for us to see all of those things. But because they have that very close proximity, they are able to bring a lot of the feedback that exists from developers to all core devs. And so just that aspect of Reth has been awesome.
Yeah, like when we have the like cross-client discussions, they always come with these suggestions saying, yeah, we know that there are these users doing this type of operation, for example, very often or so, like, and then this is something that we might not necessarily always know, and they have this because they have a lot of users of their tools reporting certain things and so on. So it benefits us, actually.
Okay. I'm going to combine two questions. There's something about top 3 engineering problems, and then also about technical debt. So maybe could you guys go on those? Like, what kind of top engineering problems are there still left with Geth, especially in relation to technical debt?
It's kind of weird to combine these, I would say. So but we can.
Well,
we
can also start with one of them.
We can just riff on this general area, I guess.
Just trying to go fast, as we have.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, technical debt. What are you even talking about?
I think that's another word for the Ethereum protocol.
Yeah. We just heard it from Justin Drake. Basically, all of Geth is technical debt. Like, there's no single part of it that it is not.
Actually, I think he meant all of Ethereum.
Yeah, but okay. But like when it concerns us, it basically means Geth. No, I mean when you come to technical debt, then one thing to realize is go-ethereum has a kind of big API surface, and nowadays, because since the beginning of this year, we have had a bit of a pivot, and we now care a lot also about the layer 2 forks of Geth, for example, and this increases our API surface even more, because effectively all of the core of Geth is now kind of like has to be maintained with the eyes of like someone else having to work around the changes that we make and so on. So we have a lot of difficulty like trying to keep certain parts stable and not changing them so that other people's projects are not broken. And I would say that if we are planning to make certain changes to very core APIs, and it's a challenge because we have to maintain the backwards compatibility. We have to really think through like what is the longevity of this interface and things like that. And yeah, so there are some parts that we maintain where we think if we could do it again, we'd do it totally different, but everyone depends on it now, so we will not change it. in general, we've been pretty good at just deleting functionality that isn't used anymore, I would say. And I mean, some of this stuff is also like we're kind of on the fence about. So for example, Geth still has a library that can talk to hardware wallets, for example. But obviously, like nobody's going to be using Geth for their like hardware wallet transacting. I mean, there are some projects using this as a Go library, but it's like one of these things where we've been thinking this whole like account management direction is something we would probably just delete if we could, but at the same time it doesn't cost us too much to have it, so we just like, yeah. Anyway, you guys also want to chime in on this, or
I could speak on the top 3 engineering problems with Geth. Like I also think like we don't have that much tech debt in Geth. The only thing that we still not have is the small archive node, but that's coming very soon, as we probably said like 2 years ago already, but like it's really coming very soon. Probably.
Yeah, the legacy archive node, we kind of consider it to be a bit like this whole, like we have 2 big modes of storing a state. We have the path-based state and the hash-based state. And the hash-based stuff is like, we want to remove that, like, but it is very hard to remove. There are even like this week we learned about 3 more projects that like heavily depend on this mode of storage, for example. So yeah, like some stuff would be great if we could remove it, but it's dependent on.
Yeah. One thing I think REST, by the way, does very well, but for us is perfectible. It's the modularity. Like Geth is just a big chunk, and extracting stuff is really hard. So that would be one thing. And technical debt, the Genesis code, I would totally get rid of that.
The other question was top 3 things that we want to we want to improve or something. Top 3 things that are problems in Geth. I think the biggest problem is state. Like we don't have state is always going to be our main bottleneck, and we don't have just the Ethereum protocol itself has no real answer to what are we doing with the state. Yes, for most of the users it will be solved by statelessness, but there need to be these users that just have the complete state and have the access to the state and can provide proofs over the state in order for light clients to work properly. So I think that is something that is more on the like medium to long term roadmap, where we see we need to invest much more resources to understand the problem, to see if we can find good solutions to manage the ever growing state of Ethereum.
Anybody still more to add?
No, I think we should go to next.
So now I'll give you a choice.
We can do the Peter thing. Like okay.
Come on.
It's okay.
Okay. Do you share? Can you also, because this is an ambiguous, do you share Peter's frustrations, and can you also explain what you think his frustrations might be?
Yeah. I guess this is one of the main reasons people came here to hear about the whole Peter situation. So, yeah, it's fine. I mean, this is good. Peter, as many of you guys know, Peter went on a sabbatical the end of last year, and then up until basically now. It's like he hasn't been back. It's a complicated relationship, I have to say. So Peter was always frustrated with EF, and specifically was frustrated with processes at the EF and management at the EF. And yes, we have at times felt equally like angry about the EF's processes. Like it's not been an easy ride. How he deals with that is a bit of a different thing. So he's famously very active on Twitter and can be very toxic even. And this toxicity has led to the current situation, where basically it's not really possible for the EF to work with Peter because of the way he has been behaving socially. We value his technical contributions, and we would love for him to be back at the EF contributing in a technical way, but it is very difficult for us to deal with his behavior, I would say. And this, some of the latest frustrations that he has been sharing, I personally would like to say that I have researched these claims that he has been making the last couple of days over and over. So I do not share the sentiment of these claims at all. The EF does not want to remove the Geth team. The EF does not somehow think we are worthless or whatever. And the EF has also not been trying to create a secret second Geth team that could somehow internally replace us. These things have not transpired in the way that he has been portraying. I hope this answers your questions.
So, like me personally, I do share some of Peter's frustrations about the processes as they have been in the past. There was, like everyone knows, there was the idea of subtraction, and teams were getting removed from the EF, and there were plans for Geth to be also spun out of the EF, and we had a lot of discussions about it. And in the end, both we and the leadership team at the Ethereum Foundation came to the conclusion that it doesn't make sense at this point for the Geth team to leave the EF. And I was like, at the time we were kind of, I was also kind of like miffed about it, but I don't think we should dwell on these issues that are, like, for me, that feel like they're in the past now. We have a new management team. We have more direction. We get more. We hope that in the future the EF will provide more direct feedback. I don't know. My answer to the question, I have shared some of his frustrations in the past, but as Felix already said, I don't think that Twitter is the right place to make room of those frustrations.
And to be clear, Peter, has held the team together for the longest time. He's been the one dealing with the, let's say, leadership trying to find its way. And clearly we do share at least some of Peter's frustrations, like the exact accusation. For example, I am not in a place to verify all of them. We just appreciate Peter. I think that should be the message.
We have a few minutes left. 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah, we can.
Let's do. Would you still work on Geth if your pay was cut 50%?
Yeah, we have been. I have to say, this question is not the first time we received this question.
So, I think
1 minute left.
I think something that you need to realize when working with Tomasz is he states a lot of very provocative questions, like, what if we fired this team? What if we doubled the salaries of this team? And so I think he's questioning a bunch of he's trying to question the common wisdom of the EF. And so I don't really see this question of what would happen to the Geth team if the salary was cut by 50% as a real thing that he wants to do. It's just a hypothetical that he throws out there, and he expects to be pushed back on this point. So
to that question, I would say yes, at optimism.
That's
okay.
I think that's a thing for us. We can probably go into a lot of companies in the ecosystem and probably get much more. But we feel that Ethereum is our mission, and Geth is for now the best place to capitalize on that mission and to work on that mission. But I think we all share, if we feel not appreciated by the Ethereum Foundation, then maybe it would be time to move on. But I think right now that is not the case, and so we're staying, and we love to work on Geth, and we also love that Geth is the most forked client in the ecosystem.
We especially
Perfect.
love that part.
Thank you, guys. Please, let's give a round of applause to them.
Thank you.